to some degree, each company has their own issues, if you will, or what are things you can give or not give. Some care a lot about mechanical royalties and how much you can give there. Others are less concerned about that. So it's a little hard to answer that generally. The things that obviously go into the basics of every deal that you think about that you know, are the economic ones. Obviously, what royalty you're paying, what advance you're paying, whether you own the master. And while that's not purely an economic issue, it really is, because when you own it, you tend to have more rights, so it translates into what you can do with it and earn money. Also, the length of time you own it. If it's a licensed deal, it's typically going to be for a shorter period of time, less time to exploit it, less time to earn money on the album. Territory is a big issue. You want to own things worldwide. You don't want to have to share the world. You know, I'll have this country, you have that country. All of these things are always important, and sort of how they mesh together is the result. In other words, sometimes you can offer an artist a bigger advance and a smaller royalty, or the other way around, and it's really how it comes together that you analyze. Recoupment is the process of earning back any monies that were spent in connection with the album, and that could be money spent on the actual recording or monies put into the artist's pocket as an advance. We talk about the company recouping or earning back that money. And that's an important concept, because the artist or the producer, whomever, don't get paid a royalty until they are recouped. Now, it gets a little tricky because you have to understand what's called the rate of recoupment. I'm just going to give you a figure, make up a figure. If an artist is earning a 16-point retail royalty, that's your royalty. You're going to recoup based on your royalty. I'm oversimplifying a little bit, but there's a rate at which you earn back that money. And different people recoup at different rates. So a producer may recoup at a different time than somebody else recoups, or the artist, or the company for that matter. But until you recoup, there'll be your advance, however much the artist got paid, and however many recording costs, and other costs that are considered recoupable costs, such as certain marketing costs. So until that is earned back, you will not get monies beyond what you got up front, which is the upfront advance. Probably a good percentage do not. What percentage that is, it's hard to say, and that really depends also on the genre of music. You know, if you do huge deals where there are big advances, there's going to be less chance of recouping, unless the artist really hits. If you do a smaller deal, or then the budgets tend to be more tightly controlled, like they can be in the jazz world, you can see more artists recouping. I mean, you do have to sell, obviously, and if you're not going to sell, you don't. But if you really keep it tighter, and that's specific to labels sometimes and to genres. Absolutely, and it's not so much that you necessarily focus on recoupment, because as I was saying before, different people recoup at different rates, and it's actually possible for a record company to start earning money before the artist recoups, because again, the artist is recouping just at what they're earning off of the album, and the artist doesn't earn as much off of an album as the record company does. So they recoup at what they earn. We earn more, so we're going to recoup the costs faster. But yes, that is looked at. But we typically look at whether we're making money. And so sometimes that's the same question, but not always. An artist can be unrecouped and we could still be making money. It's true. I'm going to say it up front on camera. But yes, that in concept, what you're asking is, do you look at the life of a deal at a certain point, record by record, and say, is this profitable? Is this a deal that makes sense for us? And absolutely. And that will factor in, of course, to whether we exercise an option for another album. Because almost always, particularly in these days, you move forward based on the record company's option, not the artist option. The record company's not going to commit to doing X number of albums. We always make it an option. And we evaluate whether the deal is making economic sense. I will say, and I think this is a very important thing, one shouldn't underestimate, again, personality in this. I've seen it happen where, if the company's on the fence about whether to exercise an option. They're not sure whether they're going to do it or not, whether they should, but maybe they give it a chance. They absolutely will factor in the relationship. It's important for an artist to have a good relationship with the record company too, and the managers, everybody getting along. Are we enjoying this whole process? Then maybe you take a chance because everybody still believes in it and everybody's enjoying it. When everybody's suffering and you're really not making money, you're going to be less likely to do it. And then the final thing is too, that really is also label by label. You have people like Bruce Lundvall who really believe in their artists and are going to take give them every chance they can to record and to make money here, and he wants to do this because he believes in this music. And it's one of the wonderful things about being at, Jazz and Classics and Blue Note, because we have a real music guy at the head who is in this business because he wants to record these artists.